Hey everybody, this is Jason Rodriguez, Torrey Brothers, live at the Extreme Real Estate Challenge. We're just going to kind of kick back and talk about what's been going on through the whole challenge, and even take it before, how this whole thing was and came about, and how we found each other and all of that, because we just had an interesting conversation on that, and I didn't know some of that. So we'll start off first. So Torrey, how did you hear about the whole challenge thing?
Well, initially, I first heard about the challenge through Facebook.
Facebook?
You know, yeah, because I was, following Jason on Facebook, and I would keep up with him, and I sent him a message and then I'm like, man, what's going on with this challenge? Then he finally sent me the link to the website. Okay, so I checked it out, and it was interesting because I would read your messages on Facebook and say, okay, 2 weeks of challenge coming up, and 2 weeks later I was like, well, where's the challenge at? And then it says, okay, the challenge is coming up. I'm like, okay, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. It's like I kept on building up that rush, and I'm like, where's that? So finally, when you gave a deadline, and and I was going to the site, and I was like, wow, so here it is. But then it's funny enough, I didn't make my video until a couple days before it was due. So I was ready to do it, but I didn't really start it until you set a deadline.
Yeah, so we put a deadline on it because we kind of left it open. Then we realized we need to put a deadline so people could go and get results and do it.
Exactly.
So that's how that's was that, and then the people went and picked you.
Exactly.
I thought your video was funny. I was rooting for you. I saw there are a lot of videos, a lot of different things, and I'm gonna tell you, when I was thought about the whole real estate, the Extreme Real Estate Challenge, I was in a room with some consultants, and I was like, man, I really want to show people how to go out there and make it happen. I've been wanting to do this for a while, and they came up with, we all came up with the whole idea, the whole concept. And one of the things that I always remember is they were like, yeah, and you're gonna live with that person for 2 weeks and live their way. And I was like, what do you mean? Where am I gonna sleep? On their sofa? And I'm like, wait, I'm too high maintenance. I don't want to sleep on the sofa. I want a bed. So I didn't sleep on the sofa here. I actually stayed in a hotel, but it would have been cool here. He's got a nice sofa. So want to just go some of the things. Let's get into some of the things that you learned, right up front when even before we got here. What were some of the thoughts in your mind?
Well, I had a million things running through my mind, but I was just sitting there thinking like, okay, this is either gonna be a good thing or a bad thing. It's either gonna be a gift or a curse, basically. Because I said it's a national thing, and I was kind of nervous, and I'm gonna tell you the truth. Something in my heart was like, nah, you don't want to win, you don't want to win, you don't want to win. And then someone's like, well, you want this opportunity, this is an opportunity for you. Because I was kind of, it's the fear of moving forward. I had that fear, but I was fighting that fear, and I just gave it my all.
Sweet. Well, I could relate to that because everything was cool. I have been doing a lot of different things, and I'm investing and buying my own houses and selling and all of this other stuff. And I guess there was so much build up to it, to the Extreme Real Estate Challenge and the challenge, that I guess it didn't really hit me until I actually got to the hotel Sunday night. And I remember sitting in the hotel room, and I'm like, what are you doing? You crazy? There's like over 10,000 people watching you all over the country. So I'm like, you know what? I got myself refocused, and I was like, no, we're gonna make this happen. I know exactly how to do this. It doesn't matter where I'm at in the country. I know how to buy houses. I know how to find stats. I know how to find phenomenal deals, and I know how to mentor people, just like Torrey, to become successful. I've done it once, twice, 10, 15, 20, 30, 50, hundreds of times to have mentor people to success. So that's what I said. I'm going to focus on that. And sure enough, we started rolling.
Exactly.
So when we first got started, and I explained to you the plan on what we were going to do, how we were going to buy, take over some owner financing, and then sell via owner financing. What were your thoughts on it?
Well, it was I was like, okay, because I've done a few small deals, and that's the same strategy I used, but it wasn't on a bigger scale like this, what we did. So it was kind of interesting to me. I was like, okay, yes, this is what I'm doing, this is what I do, And I was excited about it, and I was ready because I know that that's a great strategy in this market.
Okay. Cool. So you were excited about it.
Exactly.
Did you think we were gonna hit the price points that we hit? You thought you were gonna come in like that?
Well, no, I didn't really think that we was gonna hit as big as we did. You know?
We like the big houses. Wow.
Yeah.
He's lucky. I almost took him to a multi-million-dollar houses. He's like, wait. I was like, no, let's do the stats. The stats showed us the right price point.
Exactly. You know, and I mean, man, it's amazing how this guy here, my mentor, I mean, he came in and just showed me that. I mean, like I said, you know, basically before he came here to mentor me into, you know, this real estate, I was basically, you know, driving blindfolded. You know, I was driving, but I really couldn't see where I was going. You know, but he made me focus, and you know, he showed me things that I never even really thought about, like, you know, check the stats, see what's selling in certain areas and what is selling, what price range. You know, and I learned this, and it was amazing because it makes sense. But you know, I just never thought about it, and you know, I mean, this guy, man, I'm just so thankful right now. But you know,
cool, man. Thank you. What are some of let's tell the audience, they want to kind of know, like, give me like the top 2 things that you actually learned through this whole process. I mean, you learned a lot of stuff.
Right.
But what are some of the things that pop out? Bang, you learned that were huge for you.
Well, things that huge for me was, number one, your mindset. I mean, totally changed me. You know, totally makes a difference. I don't care, and not just, you know, real estate, but anything you do is your mindset. You know, and that's something that I had issues with, and you know, had a challenge with. So, you know, and I never knew it. You know, till Jason pointed it out. You know, and that's the purpose. I mean, that's the purpose of a mentor. They point these things out that you don't even see, that's right in front of your face. You know, and that was the number one thing to me, the mindset, and also just being organized. You know, constantly Jason would say, okay, let's stop what we're doing. Where are we at? You know, we have a list of things we have to do in order, from important things to the things that are least important, and we would follow those things. And that's, you know, it makes sense. You know, I never thought about doing this until, you know, working with Jason and him mentoring me on how to get things in order in a system, and that way you can do business more efficiently.
Yeah, it's interesting he says that. Those were definitely 2 highlighted things that I made sure both of us, not just him, I did it for the benefit of me too, to keep everything organized so that we can focus. I mean, I saw his productivity went up probably 700-800%. I mean, not a little bit, but dramatic, blowing through major stuff in between all of this, in between the whole challenge. While we were buying, we bought the first property really fast, which threw most of the audience off.
Right.
You know, most people, they can't find a house at all. We come into a strange, well, I did. You were already here. I was like, I came into a strange city. This is not a strange city. It's a beautiful city. But I came into High Point not knowing anybody or anything, and in less than 5 hours making it happen.
Right.
It was all about being strategic and planning it all out up front, knowing where I'm going, knowing what I'm going to buy. So, and inside there is the mindset, number 1. I knew, I'm going to tell you, before I got here, I had been focusing and meditating and visualizing this is a done deal. The house is already, we purchased the property, we've sold the property. Torrey has over $10,000 cash in his hand. Torrey has other deals available to him. Torrey has a buyer's list. I mean, going through the roof. There's other investors that want to buy and do business with him. And that Torrey, at the end of the day, my hidden agenda, the agenda that I wanted to do for my friend right here, Mr. Torrey Brothers, was to put real legs in his business. And what did that mean? To me, I visualized that. That looked to me like Torrey was able to make over $100,000. We were doing for the $10,000 cash here. But I'm going personally for the $100,000 cash in his business so that he can take care of his family and all of the things that he wants.
Yeah.
So that's what I kept on visualizing. So
yeah, and that's what happened. His visualization came to reality with that.